y'all, welcome back to Krista's Kitchen. So today we're making a quick air fryer recipe. Now I've never made chicken fried steak this way. I've always done it on the stove top and a little bit of oil, but trying to use my air fryer a little bit more and be a little bit more health conscious. So we're going to try it in the air fryer and see how it goes. So I have a little bit of flour, about 1.5 cups. Really it just depends on how much you're cooking for how many people. But we're going to season up our flour with a little bit of pepper. So this is going to be just like what we would do on the stove. The little dredging station is what we're setting up. I season my meat and my flour so that I get the best flavor, in my opinion. A little bit of paprika. Maybe about a teaspoon. Remember, not all of the seasoning is going on your meat. You'll have some left over because we're not going to use all of the flour. But you want to make sure you have it very well mixed in there. About a teaspoon of onion powder. And about 2 teaspoons of garlic salt. Now, if you don't have garlic salt, just use about a teaspoon of garlic and a teaspoon of salt. There we go. I'm just going to mix it all around so it's all mixed in. Now I have my cube steaks sitting over here to the side. I just have 4 cube steaks. It's a little over 1 pound of meat, and it's just because that's what was available. I've actually had the hardest time getting cube steak. Like, I don't know if there's a shortage or what, but I took my cube steaks and I seasoned them, or I let mine soak with a seasoned meat tenderizer so that it makes it nice and tenderized. And I choose a seasoned because it's just, I like it already seasons my meat for me. So they've been sitting here on the countertop for about 10 minutes like this to let them tenderize up. It's not going to do a whole lot, but it definitely helps. So down in this bowl I have 1 large egg. Just going to kind of break that up. Alright. And to that we're going to add in several big splashes of buttermilk. This is going to be our wet dredge. Let's shake that a little bit more. That's kind of an inconsistent pour. A little bit much, but it will be okay. And a little bit of hot sauce. If you don't like hot sauce, you can avoid this. I just like the little bit of tang it gives. And the wet part of our dredge is done. So this is super simple. You may think that chicken fried steak is going to be difficult to do. It's not at all. This is just the pan that I'm going to let them sit in. Alright, so we sprayed it just to minimize the sticking. So you first want to go into your flour mixture. That way you create a nice dry surface that the wet is going to stick to. Otherwise you won't get as good of a coating. You won't get that crispy texture. Alright, and you can definitely use bigger bowls. I'm going to dunk in my buttermilk mixture, and then we're going to go back into the flour. Just kind of pushing it down into it so it gets it well coated on there. Ideally you want to have 1 wet hand, 1 dirty hand, or a dry hand, but going all in. Alright, so we're going to set this one over to the side. We're just going to do the rest of these. And we're going to preheat our air fryer to 400 degrees. And let it start warming up. You definitely want a hot air fryer. Just like you would want your oil hot, you need that hot space so that it automatically goes into it to start cooking. Okay y'all, so it's been preheating about 10 minutes. So we're just going to go ahead and spray the sides and the bottom of our pan. And I do have the little basket down in there. And we're going to place 2 at a time of these chicken fried steak's very tender on that one. There we go. Right down in the bottom of the basket. We're gonna, let's spray the top, and we'll close the lid, and we'll let these go for about 8 minutes. While our chicken fried steak is cooking, I'm gonna show y'all how we're gonna do our side dishes. So we're using our freezer mashed potatoes. Those are just potatoes we've made before and frozen to save for another time. I'm gonna let them thaw in the oven while our green beans cook. So I just took some green beans, sliced off most of the ends, and wash them up. Now we're going to put a little olive oil and garlic salt, and we're going to roast these up in our convection oven at 425 for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now as far as the gravy for the country fried steak or the chicken fried steaks go, I do quote unquote cheat on my gravy. I don't make my gravy from scratch. I buy the country gravy mix, and you just need to boil some water, mix a little bit in with cold water, and then warm it all the way through. And it's super simple. It's just the mix and water, and in like 5 minutes you have really yummy gravy. So super simple dinner coming together really, really quick. Okay, so the dinner's all done. As you can see, most all of it turned out pretty good. What I did notice is some of the flour kind of cooked weird in the air crisper or the air fryer, and one of them we had some sticking to the bottom of the pan. Actually, we had some sticking on 3 of them, but this one was the really tough one, and this one just didn't quite adhere. So I think overall it's pretty good. It definitely works to cut some of that frying and everything out, and I know it's gonna taste good because it's the same recipe that usually I use for seasoning. And we just top it with the gravy, and it's ready to roll. Now it's still an indulgent dinner for sure. It's not the healthiest, but it's much healthier than deep frying it on the stove. So I think it's a win. We'll keep playing with it, see if we need some more spray, or if I needed to make it a little bit less wet of a batter, and see if that's what makes the difference. But overall, I think it turned out pretty good. Hopefully y'all give it a try and let me know what you think.